Welcome to Your Rights. We are teenagers in the age of 2018 and are having a hard time relating to the Bill of Rights, ladies, right?
Yeah.
So here's a video with some current news clips of modern day examples how the amendments fit into the modern world today. Enjoy!
The First Amendment is freedom of expression, which is commonly regarded as one of the most fundamental rights for Americans because it gives us the right to do and say what we want. You may have heard of a recent case where a Colorado baker exercised his First Amendment right of freedom of religion.
The Supreme Court ruling in favor of a Colorado baker who refused to make a wedding cake for a same-sex couple because of his religious beliefs.
The Second Amendment is the right citizens have to bear arms in times of need. In this clip, Obama is explaining that the Center for Disease Control should be allowed to research gun-related deaths.
Lawful, responsible gun owners like yourself are able to use it for sporting, hunting, protecting yourself. But the only way we're going to do that is if we don't have a situation in which anything that is proposed is viewed as some tyrannical destruction of the Second Amendment.
The Third Amendment does not allow for the government to force citizens to house soldiers in their homes during times of peace. This also includes police officers or any other government officials.
Cops in Henderson City now facing a lawsuit for allegedly invading a residence and jailing the owners for failing to comply with their forceful entry.
The amendment that expresses the right of citizens to be private and secure in their own homes. Therefore, police cannot search without a search warrant and without a probable cause.
Forget the warrant. Police officers now able to enter your home without one if they think evidence is being destroyed inside. That's the 8-1 ruling from the U.S. Supreme Court, but some say it's trampling on our Fourth Amendment right to be secure in our own home.
The Fifth Amendment mandates due process of law and lays out restrictions for how the government should and should not prosecute its citizens. It prohibits double jeopardy, which is when you might be convicted of a crime for the same crime twice, which is not allowed under the Fifth Amendment, and it also prohibits self-incrimination, which means that whenever you hear someone saying, "I plead the Fifth," they're actually making sure that they don't risk saying anything that might lead police, a jury, or a judge to believe that they're guilty of whatever they're talking about.
I plead the Fifth.
The Sixth Amendment is what defendants picture of as a fair trial. For example, the right to have a lawyer and the right to confront witnesses. In the Gideon v. Wainwright case, there was a case of burglary and vandalism. The police arrested Gideon and took him to court, but he was too poor to afford counsel. He argued his Sixth Amendment rights, and they denied his request. He was found guilty, and later on, after he went to jail, the court agrees that they must provide attorneys for criminal defendants who cannot afford their own attorney.
The Seventh Amendment guarantees citizens trials by jury in civic cases. It is under attack by the Trump administration because he thinks that it causes frivolous lawsuits.
The Eighth Amendment prohibits excessive bail, excessive fines, and cruel and unusual punishment for prisoners.
Nutriloaf or prison loaf, slop loaf, bears many names, but it's something that prisoners across the U.S. know all too well when they're forced to eat it. In one particular case in Milwaukee, an inmate named Terrence Prude became violently ill after eating it for 2 days. He experienced stomach pain, vomiting, a loss of weight of 14 pounds, and other health problems. And last week, a federal appeals court ruled that what Prude was served could violate the Eighth Amendment and be considered cruel and unusual punishment.
The Ninth Amendment says that any rights not written in the Constitution should still be retained by the people. The most important one of these is the right to travel.
The 10th Amendment says that anything not laid out in the Bill of Rights of the Constitution is given as a state's power. So that includes things like property rights, infrastructure, implementing a local justice system, and lately a topic of controversy is education.
North Carolina on teaching kids about sex highlights the difficulty for many school districts around the country. The Cumberland County Board of Education voted last night to get rid of its Planned Parenthood sex education program. That decision follows criticism from some parents. The district starts teaching kids about sex in 6th grade.